By the end, Wayne Rooney could probably be forgiven for wondering what kind of adventures he might be missing with his old team. He had heard his name sung, and, before he disappeared into the tunnel, there was a little, polite wave of appreciation. Yet Rooney wore the look of a man whose return to Old Trafford had felt like an ordeal, and he can never have imagined there would come a time when he would find himself in the away dressing room ruminating on what it is like to be in the relegation zone. The paradox is that this was not always the fluent, dangerous Manchester United that has been seen in other parts in the new season, and it felt slightly perplexing that Jose Mourinho described it as the best performance so far. Indeed, for a long part of the second half they had flirted with the idea of letting their opponents back into the match, and there was clear evidence of how much they would miss the injured Paul Pogba. Ultimately, though, it turned into the third 40 win of their opening 5 league fixtures, and another reminder of the team's firepower. It is the first time United have won their opening 3 home games since the 201,112 season, and they're level with Manchester City at the top of the Premier League on identical records: 13 points, 15 goals scored, 2 conceded. Pep Guardiola's team are tops early because the second name starts with a C rather than a U. Everton, in stark contrast, find themselves in the bottom 3 on the back of that late flurry of goals when Henrik Mkhitaryan 83 minutes, Romelu Lukaku 89 and the substitute Anthony Martial 92 quadrupled the score, and Rooney, chin in hands, watched forlornly from the dugout, having just been substituted. Antonio Valencia had opened the scoring 4 minutes in with a firecracker of a shot, and these feel like difficult moments for Ronald Koeman and his players. Everton have now gone 6 games in all competitions without a victory, losing the last 4 with a combined score of 0-1-2, and have not won in the league since the opening weekend of the season. "Please be realistic," Koeman said afterwards, taking issue with Mourinho's reference to Everton being a club that had ambitions of a top 4 finish. The reality, however, is that Everton supporters were entitled to expect more after an extensive period of summer recruitment. A lot of those fans had already left by the time Martial's penalty, after a Morgan Schneiderlin handball, completed the scoring. They enjoyed the moment in the first half when Lukaku shot wide when it seemed certain he would score. Yet they also had to endure being shushed by the former striker after he had set up Mkhitaryan's goal. Lukaku had been booed by the away end, and, when he added the third goal, he made a beeline towards the Evertonians, cupping his ear as if to ask why the volume had suddenly gone down. As for Rooney, he found it difficult early on to provide any evidence that he can still flourish at United's level. He did, however, grow into the game and became a difficult opponent for Eric Bailly in particular. It needed David De Gea's quick reactions to deny Rooney an equaliser early in the second half, and it was something of a surprise that Koeman removed him in the 81st minute. At the risk of sounding slightly cruel, it was a better performance than the crowd here became used to seeing from Rooney in recent seasons. Throughout the middle hour of the game there was not actually a great deal between the two teams. Yet Valencia's goal was a beauty, and it is difficult to think of any other time in his 8 years at Old Trafford when he has struck a shot more powerfully. United's captain was 20 yards from goal, aiming diagonally from close to the far corner of the penalty area, when Nemanja Matic's crossfield pass curled his way and he let fly. The noise of the crowd made it clear they had witnessed something special, and the ball flashed past Jordan Pickford at the kind of speed that makes it harsh, perhaps, to question the goalkeeper. Even so, an argument could be made that the shot was central enough to be saved. Hypothetical, perhaps, but it is difficult to think De Gea would have been beaten that way. Even in a 4-goal win, De Gea showed again why he is so valuable, with second-half saves from Rooney and Gylfi Sigurdsson. An equaliser would not have been implausible at that stage, but it was still more likely that the home team would score next. Mkhitaryan swept a low shot past Pickford to soothe the crowd's nerves, and Lukaku's 7th goal in 7 games for his new club came from close range in a crowded penalty area. Lukaku's free kick had bounced back off the defensive wall, but Matic fired the loose ball back in, and United's £75 million striker had dashed forward, anticipating the ball might come back his way. How Everton miss him.